Welcome to Xiao Zhan Universe. Don't forget to subscribe, like and share this video with your friends. The world held its breath. Billions of screens, from flickering phone displays to massive stadium jumbotrons, were tuned into a single channel. The anticipation was a palpable hum, vibrating across continents, all eyes fixed on the grand ethereal venue. Wang Yibo stood at the end of the aisle, a study in poised anticipation, his gaze locked on the shimmering entrance. Xiao Zhan was about to appear. The live coverage, however, was already reacting to the sheer magnitude of the moment. On every single device, the image of the venue began to subtly shift. The crystalline architecture, previously gleaming with ordinary light, now pulsed with a faint, internal aurora, hues of silver and sapphire dancing across its surfaces. Viewers worldwide experienced a curious phenomenon. Their screens, regardless of quality, seemed to emit a soft, comforting warmth, and the ambient noise in their own rooms subtly muted, as if the broadcast were creating its own intimate bubble of silence. This wasn't just a video feed, it was an immersive sensory conduit, drawing the global audience into the very atmosphere of the ceremony. Then, the murmurs escalated. A collective gasp rippled through the online chat feeds as Xiao Zhan stepped into view. He wasn't just walking down an aisle, he was walking through a river of pure, distilled light. The aisle wasn't marble, it was a flowing cascade of iridescent pearls and molten gold, each step he took causing ripples of luminescence to spread outwards, washing over the seated guests in gentle waves. His white suit didn't simply reflect light, it absorbed and re-emitted it, shimmering with an inner glow that seemed to emanate directly from his heart. The very air around him thickened with the scent of 1,000 blooming jasmines, a fragrance so profound and real that viewers half a world away instinctively inhaled, convinced they smelled it too. This was Zhan's radiant calm, his boundless empathy, made visible, a breathtaking, mind-blowing journey towards his future. As he approached Yibo, the air between them began to thrum with an unseen energy. It wasn't just anticipation, it was the magnetic pull of two halves becoming whole. The crystalline walls of the venue, reacting to their combined aura, began to morph. Intricate, fractal patterns of light bloomed across the surfaces, swirling and expanding, reflecting not the physical space, but the unfolding tapestry of their shared memories. Viewers witnessed fleeting holographic glimpses. Yibo sketching Zhan laughing in a cafe, a quiet moment of comfort under a star-filled sky, their hands brushing in a silent promise. These weren't pre-recorded visuals, they were spontaneous manifestations of their collective past, projected onto the very fabric of the venue, a testament to the depth of their intertwined history. They stood before the officiant, their hands finding each other, a silent anchor in a world now bending around them. When Yibo began his vows, his voice, though soft, carried an impossible resonance. It wasn't just heard, it was felt, vibrating through the screens, straight into the chests of every single viewer. As he spoke of commitment, of unwavering support, the silver ring on his finger pulsed with a fierce, unwavering blue light, and the air around them thickened, condensing into countless shimmering, sapphire-blue dust motes that danced and swirled around them like tiny sentient stars. This was Yibo's steadfast devotion, his protective strength, made manifest, a profound cosmic declaration witnessed by billions. Then it was Xiao Zhan's turn. As he spoke, his voice filled with a boundless love and gentle strength, the gold wedding band on his finger began to glow with a soft, radiant green. The dancing sapphire dust around them shimmered, then slowly began to shift, transforming into vibrant, emerald-green particles that radiated warmth. A wave of profound, universal empathy washed over the entire global audience. Millions of people, regardless of their own circumstances, felt a sudden, inexplicable surge of peace, of understanding, of shared joy. It was a mass emotional communion, a direct download of Zhan's boundless compassion, uniting fragmented hearts across the globe in a single beautiful moment of shared humanity. As they exchanged rings, the two bands, silver and gold, blue and green, pulsed in unison, then flared with a blinding, pure white light. The light didn't just illuminate, it transformed. The entire venue, the audience within it, and every screen broadcasting the ceremony, were momentarily engulfed in a singular, radiant field of pure, undiluted love. For a breathtaking instant, geographical distances collapsed. Viewers across the world, regardless of their location, felt as though they were physically present in the venue, surrounded by the same intoxicating scent, warmed by the same incredible light, their hearts beating in perfect synchronicity with the two men on the stage. It was a momentary fusion of consciousness, a collective experience of a bond so powerful it bent the very fabric of space and perception. Finally, the officiant pronounced them married. Wang Yibo pulled Xiao Zhan into a deep, tender kiss. As their lips met, the final, most astounding phenomenon occurred. From the point of their embrace, a spiral of shimmering, rainbow-colored energy erupted, shooting upwards, piercing the ceiling of the venue and arcing into the sky. It wasn't just a light show, it was a visible, tangible manifestation of their joy, their love, and their shared power. The spiral stretched across the world, visible to those watching the broadcast as a fleeting, ethereal shimmer in their own rooms, a subtle rainbow in their peripheral vision, an impossible streak of pure color painting the air itself. For a few heartbeats, the world was bathed in their love, a silent, joyful explosion of universal connection. The light subsided, the world snapped back to its mundane reality. The screens returned to normal, the venue lights settled, and the audience erupted into a deafening, unified roar. No one could fully explain what they had seen, what they had felt. The records were broken, not just in numbers, but in the very definition of what a wedding could be. Backstage, away from the roaring crowds, Yibo held Zhan close, their faces flushed with emotion and exhaustion. The rings on their fingers glowed faintly, a subtle reminder of the magic they carried. "They saw it," Zhan whispered, his voice filled with awe. Yibo smiled, a rare, genuine curve of his lips. "They saw us." He looked at his husband, the man whose love could reshape worlds. The wedding might be over, but the mind-blowing journey had just truly begun. Stay tuned to Yibo Zhan Universe for updates, exclusive breakdowns, and emotional reactions as the story unfolds. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because this miracle might just be real. The roar of the crowd was a distant tide, and the endless lights of the venue felt like a million suns. Backstage, in a quiet, starkly lit room, Wang Yibo held Xiao Zhan close, the world outside a forgotten concept. The wedding was over. The impossible had happened. The spiral of light they created had arced across the sky, a visible, undeniable testament to their love. Did they really see all of it? Xiao Zhan whispered, still slightly breathless from the whirlwind of a love so powerful it bent reality. Yibo simply nodded, his arms tightening around him. He didn't need to check his phone or a monitor. He could feel it, a faint, harmonious hum still vibrating in the air, a spiritual aftershock of the collective consciousness they had momentarily connected. The world was still buzzing with their love. And the world's buzzing had a physical manifestation. Billions of screens, from the television in a family's living room to a lone phone in a late-night cafe, were showing an impossible afterimage. The live broadcast was over, but every screen that had been tuned in now displayed a persistent, shimmering, ghostly afterimage of the spiraling rainbow light, a transparent overlay that pulsed faintly over whatever new content appeared. A news broadcast about the wedding showed the spiral dancing across the anchor's face. A movie playing on a plane showed the lovers' embrace reflected in a beautiful, ethereal arc technology, so reliant on logic and code, was now a canvas for their love's spontaneous art. It was a global, mind-blowing technological phenomenon, a silent, pervasive reminder that their bond had left an indelible mark on the digital world. Just then, a few family members entered, their faces beaming with a mixture of pride and awe. They carried a few special wedding gifts, no ordinary presents, but things that had been created to be conduits for their unique magic. Yibo's mother held out a simple, elegant leather-bound photo album. "For your memories, now and forever," she said, her voice filled with a profound understanding. Zhan took the album and opened it. The pages were blank. He looked up, confused, but Yibo smiled. "It's for us," he whispered. They placed their hands on the open album, and the moment their fingers touched the pages, the first page wasn't just filled with a photo, it was filled with a living, three-dimensional scene of their first meeting. A holographic, perfectly detailed recreation of the cafe, the warm scent of roasted beans filling the air, the faint sound of the bell on the door ringing. But it wasn't just a memory. As they looked at it, the figures of a younger Yibo and Zhan moved, not in a loop, but as if living in a continuous, perfect present. They could lean in and hear the whispers of the moment, the background noise of the conversation, the feeling of that exact second in time. This was a personal, interactive manifestation of their past, a mind-blowing gift that turned their memories into a tangible, living reality that only they could access, a testament to a love that could keep their history perfectly alive. The final act of the night, the most profoundly mind-blowing of all, was not witnessed by the world. It was a private ceremony of two. After a long, quiet moment, Yibo reached out and gently took Zhan's hands in his. The rings on their fingers, the silver and the gold, pulsed with a renewed, fierce energy, a steady, powerful rhythm. The act of publicly committing to each other, in a way that had been seen and felt by all, had made their power permanent, stable, and ready for a new purpose. "The world saw our love," Yibo said, his voice a low, steady current. "But now, it's just us." He closed his eyes, and Zhan followed, focusing their combined will on a single, shared purpose, to begin their new life. A faint, shimmering mist began to emanate from their clasped hands, thickening and taking on a beautiful, iridescent sheen. The mist solidified, not into a chaotic portal, but into a delicate, elegant bridge of pure light. The bridge wasn't just a vision, it was a real, tangible structure, its surface firm under their feet, its light so brilliant it illuminated the dark backstage area. It stretched out, not to a destination in the physical world, but to a place that existed solely for them. It was a perfect, crystalline path, a physical manifestation of their new, shared journey. They opened their eyes and looked at each other, their faces filled with a quiet, triumphant joy. They had created this. Not a gift from someone else, but a direct result of their own love. The world could have its records and its news reports and its impossible afterimages. They had something more. They had a path. Without a word, they stepped onto the bridge of light. The physical world of the arena, with its roaring crowds and buzzing cameras, began to recede behind them. The light of the bridge was a powerful shield, a loving presence that carried them forward into a space of perfect peace and serenity. They weren't just leaving a wedding, they were leaving their past, stepping into a new reality where their love was the only law, and every new step was a journey into a mind-blowing, beautiful unknown.